Hey everyone, this is Gio from Rebalancing Health, and today I'm gonna talk to you about stretching before surfing and after surfing. But before I go into the nitty-gritty of the benefit or the non-benefit of stretching before surfing or sport activity, I will share with you another test which again is pretty detrimental to know the result of it. So the test is the wall lean test and with shoulder flexion. So the reason why it's really important because that test, the test that I'm about to show you, will give us an understanding of the ability of our body to of our spine or thoracic spine to reverse its curvature. So the thoracic spine is predominantly a kyphotic curvature, however, is bending forward. But when there is too much kyphotic curvature, we can lose, and when the spine is becoming stiff, the muscle around the spine become too stiff, we're losing the ability to actually reverse that curvature into a more extended position, which consequently has an effect on the shoulder position and the ability of rotating the trunk. And as you know, shoulder are where most of the wear and tears are going during surfing, because we spend 80% of the time paddling. And also, and what else? Well, with surfing, we always rotating. We need rotation, and rotation in the spine comes from mostly from our thoracic spine. So when we have too much kyphotic posture and we're locked in this position, we lose the rotation and the position of our shoulder change, which brings about muscle imbalances. So the test is pretty easy and straightforward. Again, we're standing against a wall. We walking the feet out about 10 centimeters from the wall. We flattening again our lumbar spine to the wall, and we flexing the shoulder. This is a shoulder flexion. We're going all the way to the wall. That's it. So if in the attempt of lifting up the shoulder or flexing the shoulder, the head start coming forward. And even in this position, when we flatten our lower back to the wall, the head wants to come forward, or we have actually difficulty on bringing the head to the wall. That's a sign, a pretty clear sign that our thoracic spine is too kyphotic, and consequently we have tighter muscle on the anterior part of our body, of our chest, pec, anterior deltoid, and so forth, and neck muscle. So again, performing this test on the wall, it could also be a way of re-establishing and regaining that mobility. Foam roller mobilization for the thoracic spine, and obviously stretching those muscles of the kyphotic posture that I showed you in the last video. So now moving forward, is or is not stretching beneficial before surfing? Well, there is not one rule that fits all, and there are different types of stretching. So what we know from science is that yes, stretching is beneficial, it can have a beneficial effect, as long as we not stretch for longer than 5 seconds. That we don't hold a stretch for longer than 5 seconds. We can hold it 5 seconds, rest, and hold it again for the same muscle, and that will be alright. If we hold the stretch, if you score 5, 9 for your hypermobility score of the Bayron test, the one that I showed you a couple of weeks ago, perhaps you actually want to avoid the stretching closer to your sport activity and concentrate more, maintain that tension into the joint and into the muscle, so that helps you to stabilize those joints. And then for me, for surfing and what I experience for myself, dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching is basically movement that brings joint that you will use during the sport activity or surfing into full range of motion, and movement that actually resemble the sport activity. So I think dynamic stretching is one of the best for my point of view for surfing, because it's dynamic. It helps not only to stretch, but it warm up the body, warm up the joint, however mobilize the joint, still maintaining tension to the joint. So that creates the level of resistance that you actually want to create. And again, is you mobilizing, you stretching, and create tension, which is like activating the muscle to react nice and quickly for the use of the sport. Consider this: surfing is predominantly anaerobic, however lack of oxygen sport. That is an average wave. Will last between 10 to a maximum of 30 seconds. That time under tension and that moving, that amount of time is predominantly anaerobic. So you want it to be reactive for surfing. You don't want to be too slow and too relaxed, because what we know as well about stretching is that stretching, yes, is beneficial and is a great tool that we can use for different purpose. And one of the purpose that we found to be extremely beneficial for is relaxation. Hope you find this video beneficial, and I see you next time. This is Gio from Rebalancing Health.